Hi Dave, super session again today. Just to recap on the work that we did, we can see here as we're approaching impact from all views, face on and down the line. Comparing it with Charlie where you hit a lot of good positions at this point in your golf swing. You're moving forward much better with your lower body at this point than you were a few weeks ago. The big issue we had today was too much hand action as you came through the ball. You can see there, throwing the angles away through impact. Way too much forearm rotation and the lower body not continuing forward for long enough. So it is moving forward better than it was, but you can see there we look at it from both face on and down the line. As we're coming into impact, the body sort of stops working, and as a result those forearms rotate too much on the way through. And that's causing you to do a number of things. As you get rid of your angles, you run the risk of hitting the ground behind the ball and also drawing it too much to the left, overdrawing it, stroke hooking it. So we're making a much better first move down, but then we're not continuing to move forward long enough. If you watch Charlie Wee both down the line and face on, the first thing we notice with Charlie is that as he comes through, he's much quieter with the hands through the hitting area. Also being much quieter with the hands and continuing to move forward whilst tucking his backside underneath his torso. You can see that the arms start to work back on the inside much better. So there's a more gradual rotation of the forearms through impact, producing a much more controlled ball flight, as well as controlling the low point of the swing. If we're watching from face on, what we're going to see is as he approaches impact, you're going to see that he starts to use the ground to push up to create some extra power. Both legs are going to start to straighten just after impact. From here on in now, he's continuing to move his hips forward whilst tucking his butt under his body. So the hips, as the lead leg starts to straighten, the hips are allowed to clear, and we get that tucked look on the way through that we see here from down the line. Again, hips moving forward, both legs start to straighten now as he pushes up from the floor, and you can see the backside tucking beneath his torso, allowing him to control this forearm rotation and keep him in his inclination to the ground. What we're going to see with yourself is that the body stops, doesn't do a great deal at this point, and as a result we throw everything away, and there's a tendency to stand up a little bit through impact. If we look at it from face on, too much forearm rotation, and as a result the club has closed down too quickly, and we can see that the lower body has stopped moving forward. So the drill we gave you to work on is down here on the bottom right, and basically what it is to set up as normal, straighten the right leg, put about 70% of your weight on your left side. This is going to give you a lovely feeling on the backswing anyway of having the arms work in and the weight move to the left. You can see there that right leg nice and straight, right hip high, super position at the top. Now what's going to happen is as you come through impact, you're going to look much more like Charlie where you can see now that the right leg's straightening, much quieter with the arms and the hands coming through, and the club starts to trace back on the inside better, with the club exiting much more like we see with Charlie Wee here. We run him through, so look at the position through the ball, pushes up, straightens the legs, tucks the butt under his torso, a lot of extension, not much release. The thought for you here when you're doing these swings is to move through keeping both arms straight as you approach chest height in the finish. And you can see there as you come through, much more reminiscent of what we're seeing with Charlie Wee on the top right than what we see here in the main footage, where we've still got some flex in the right knee. The lower body hasn't really continued to move forward. If we look at the difference in the finish, and we run you through from face on, we can see here that your upper centre has crept in front of your lower centre because you didn't tuck enough on the way through. And if we continue Charlie through, we can see there that his lower centre although he's not reached his finish, you get the idea. His lower centre is more out in front of his upper centre because he's continued. As he's driven forward, he started to straighten the legs and tuck the butt beneath his torso, allowing him to continue to move forward for longer in the through swing. Key thought for you though, Dave, above all else, straight arms as you're reaching chest height in the through swing. Stabilise everything, calm the hand action down a little bit. Good luck with it. Speak to you again in a few weeks' time. Well done.